Jason from Game-Rave.com, and this is Game-Rave TV. Before we get started, if you didn't see our tweet from the other day, marketing channel Maker Max and Game-Rave TV have officially parted ways. While other YouTubers begin the transfer process to other marketing channels, I've decided that the ad revenue setup, even YouTube's own AdSense, just isn't worth the hassle. So as of this episode, we have completely demonetized the channel. If you happen to see an ad, either I missed a video or YouTube is up to something. It's important to note that this has nothing to do with any of the current boycott controversy. I was actually planning on leaving Maker Max for the past few months, and everything just happened to work out. If you'd like to show your support for Game-Rave TV and Game-Rave.com, even if it's just in spirit, check out our Patreon page for more fun and discussions. With that out of the way, we can start our newest episode by celebrating ads! But not those silly modern-day streamed ads, or pop-up ads, or email ads, or viral marketing. Nope, I'm talking good old-fashioned magazine ads. Back in the old days, magazines and TV commercials were the only way publishers could really get a gamer's attention when they weren't in a video game store. Publishers would spend millions on ads vying for the right location, time, and amount of ads. Prime locations include both covers inside and out, and in the mid-90s, all over the polybags magazines were suddenly being trapped in. Now, admittedly, times changed and so did the ads along with them, and regretfully, the PlayStation and Saturn era were flooded in seas of testosterone, explosions, swears, and sexual innuendos. You literally could not flip through a magazine without seeing a practically naked female advertising a game, or being forced to trudge through all the different ways the word extreme could be spelled. Blessedly, some publishers avoided this kind of madness, and instead found more creative and less caveman-like ways to get you to notice their products. In today's episode, we celebrate 5 of the best PlayStation magazine ads ever printed. Our first celebration is sort of ironic considering my previous statements, and that's because it belongs to Mortal Kombat 3. Now, for all the blood and gore that the series has had, it was surprising to see Midway take a more muted approach to the game's publicity. In fact, the original arcade version's marketing is one of my favorite, if not the favorite ad campaign of all time. Running in magazines and arcade posters, a total of 9 different ads were mocked up with just the logo, a historical quote, and then a set of strange handwritten numbers and symbols. The symbols would be revealed as codes to input at a specific screen. It was just the insanely classy campaign regretfully attached to a crappy game. When said game did come home to the PlayStation, a slightly more subtle but just as cool ad came along. Showing nothing more than ancient weapons and torture devices, once you started looking over the items, your mind really mentally started linking them to their proper characters. The grenade representing Stryker, the knife calling out Kano, the saw blade representing Cabal, and more. With your mind then instantly thinking about said characters and their moves, glancing to the right you read that MK3 was going to be first on PlayStation. If that didn't cause an MK fan to instantly want a PlayStation, nothing else would. Getting you to use your brain was the first step in successful advertisements, but there was also the right kind of brand recognition. Infogrames nailed that aspect perfectly with their campaign for Driver 2. The game's marketing and packaging visual style used this incredible mixture of monochromatic elements layered over real-world photography and styled abstraction. Infograms and reflections use this excellent visual metaphor in the game's magazine ads. Assigning a primary color to each of the 4 cities featured in the game, a simple typography style, calling out the cities, and then a witty phrase that plays off a game feature, and then correlating the artwork. After a few months of these ads in magazines, when you walked into your favorite game store on release day, you would know exactly what you were looking for. Heading into the final 3, we get to also appreciate those graphic designers who decide to make you work for your reading material, in that they turn the paper itself into an interactive experience. Our third entry comes from Sony's The Legend of Dragoon. Now, while they actually had a pretty kick-ass movie poster style ad, it's their 4-page version that takes the cake. The ad is sliced into 4 equal parts, with each fourth on a specific page. Folding the 2 center pages in half and then laying them flat revealed the full image. This simple trick plays 2 roles. First, it got you involved, and in doing so you completed your first puzzle of the game. Second, like Mortal Kombat's secret codes, it got you thinking about the game as you read the entire ad. Our 4th entry is a bit more on the evil side, if only for the fact that it required you to destroy a page of your magazine. When Sony decided to bring over the now renamed Bust a Groove, they were faced with a conundrum. How do you advertise a dancing game, which is all about movement, on a single sheet of paper which doesn't move? The answer came in the form of a flipbook project. Using a trusty pair of scissors and a stapler, you could cut out and assemble the squares into a mini flipbook, allowing you to see Heat's dance moves, as I've done here. While the game's demo would eventually come to stores and PlayStation Magazine, this was definitely one of the more creative ads out there. The 5th and final magazine ad we celebrate today is one that requires not 1, but multiple takes to realize how much is there. At the time, still single entity and RPG mastermind Enix was on the verge of releasing Dragon Warrior 7. When you happened upon their grand 2-page advertisement, it was a simple affair with just a small map of the island you start on, surrounded by tiny little screenshots of the game. If you simply glanced over them and went on reading the magazine, you missed one of the greatest uses of an in-game engine in marketing history. Making sure not to give it away in the top row of images, if you allowed yourself the chance to look at the screenshots starting on the right side of the page, you would notice that in one screen capture, the name lots of the characters spell out Enix DW RPG King. Having found that literally tiny surprise, skimming through the rest of the screenshots revealed the following messages, all spelled out in letters, 4 letters across 4 slots. DW4, coming soon, alluding to the Japanese PlayStation release of Dragon Warrior 4. Greatest RPG epic. Gameplay is cool. Story draws you in. Horiyuji Game Master, referencing Dragon Warrior's creator Horiyuji. We love Kobe Terra, which pays homage to Dragon Warrior monsters. And then a 2-screenshot sentence that spells out a secret web page, www.enix.com/secret.html. While the page is decades long gone, archive.org has a partially preserved copy of it, with just the images missing. The page gave sharp-eyed readers early screenshots of some of the game's more interesting features. While simple by modern media standards, back in the day it was the perfect balance of creativity, reader engagement, and payoff for finding the clues. Alright guys, that does it for this week. As you know, next week is Midway Gaming Classic. I will be there hanging out somewhere. If you see me, say hi. I love talking to you guys. Other than that, have a safe weekend. We will see you next week, hopefully, at the convention. Take care, you guys. Have a great night.